right, guys, it is officially June, so we are smack dab in the middle of the year. And this year I wanted to do a mid-year favorites because anytime it approaches the end of the year and I'm thinking about, oh my God, what were my favorite products at the start of the year? Because by then I've moved on to other products, I've discovered additional faves, and I completely blank on what I was enjoying the first few months of the year. So I figured this year it would make sense to do this type of video, which is a mid-year favorites, and talk about the products that I have been loving that I discovered earlier this year or even towards the end of last year. And we'll talk about them. I'll tell you why I love them. And then we'll see if they stick around and end up in my end of year faves or that final wrap up for 2026. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's go ahead and get right into it. Hey there guys, it's Tina and I am back, and I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. If you're also back, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again. I am fighting for this off the shoulder to stay off the shoulder. Girl, don't even get me started. But if you're new and maybe you like what you see, please consider subscribing. We have tons of fun here on this channel talking about makeup and all things beauty, and I am excited to share these favorites with you guys. And low-key, I feel like there isn't a lot. Even though it looks like a lot, it really isn't that many things, but I may be wrong. Should we just go ahead and jump into my favorite products? And these are going to be probably surprising to you because I don't do a full beat anymore. I don't wear makeup daily. So these are products that are truly favorites. These are products that I take with me traveling if I go on a business trip. I use if I'm going out or there's an event and I need to put on makeup, or if I'm just slapping on something quick because I want to feel pretty. And I also use these in get ready with me videos because they are just tried and true. So I'm gonna start out with skincare. Let's do skincare first. So I want to mention two moisturizers that have just been my go-tos this year. And the first one up is from Lancome. I know I said Lancome like that, right? Lancome. You have to say it like that because it's French. But this is the Anti-Stress Moisturizing Cream Gel from Lancome. I think I purchased this last year during one of the Ulta sales, and I have been using this up, and that says a lot because I don't use a lot of skincare. I have a lot, but I don't use one thing consistently. I'm always rotating through because I have a lot, right? So I'm mixing and I'm matching, and whatever my skin calls for, that's what I'm using. But when I'm wearing makeup and I need my skin to feel hydrated but not overly moist, I go for this moisturizer. It is cosmetically elegant in that it works really well under makeup. Again, it doesn't leave behind a greasy feel. It doesn't make my skin oily because I do have naturally oily skin, but it moisturizes to the point where my skin feels comfortable. And when I wash my face at the end of the day, it still feels good. So I really love this moisturizer. It has like a soft, I want to call it a whip texture, but it has that kind of soft texture that fully absorbs and almost feels like it's powdery at the end, but it's not truly powdery, you know what I mean? But it leaves your skin with this velvety feel that is so comfortable, and again, works really well under makeup. So Lancome Hydra Zen. And then another moisturizer that I've been loving is from Tatcha. This is the water cream, and I've used this before years and years ago, but Tatcha sent me a PR package with some of their top selling skincare products, and this was included. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that gel cream. So I pulled it out and oh my God, I have been loving this as well. So I use this when I want more of a cooling effect rather than a smooth velvety effect, if that makes sense. So this feels very hydrating. Again, it's a gel cream, so it's very lightweight, absorbs really well, but it makes my skin feel very refreshed. Yeah, you know when you drink a cool glass of water on a hot day and you just feel quenched? That's how this gel cream makes my skin feel. Very cosmetically elegant, again, works well under makeup, doesn't make me feel greasy, but it gives that cooling, fresh out the pool effect. Like, my skin is hydrated, it's nice and dewy without being wet looking or oily or greasy looking. Yeah, so I really love this, and I'm happy when brands send me PR with beloved products so I can either discover them or I can fall in love with old favorites again, right? So I have a renewed love for this gel cream. This one has a little spatula included, so if you didn't want to use your hands, you can use the little spatula. It has the lid and everything. And now the spatula has a little holder in the top of the cap. Before, Tatcha products would come with the little spatula, but then it would be loose and you wouldn't have anywhere to put it. Now it has the little holder, so that's cute. Tatcha, you over here elevating, child, but those two moisturizers have been spot on for me. Okay. Let's move on to the next step of my makeup, which would be primer. The one I have fallen in love with is the Grip Trip from Fenty Beauty. This is the mattifying and blurring primer. They also have a hydrating version. This one is for oily skin, combination skin, because it is more mattifying. And I've really enjoyed this under my makeup. Again, it has skincare infused in it. So you see how it's like a swirl in the middle of a clear gel. So the clear gel is the skincare, and then the pink swirl is the primer part of it, which blurs your skin a little bit. It does help mattify and help with the longevity of your makeup, but it feels comfortable without feeling drying on the skin. So when I apply this, I don't feel like my skin is being sucked dry. It just feels comfortable. It mattifies again and blurs without a tightening effect. So it's almost like it blurs and fills in my pores just a little bit. It's not meant to be pore filling necessarily, but I feel like it does kind of help to blur my pores, and then it mattifies my T-zone. And I apply this to the center of my face, primarily on my T-zone, because that's where I really need the oil control. But all over, this still feels great. And again, it doesn't tighten or dry out the skin, so it's very comfortable as well. And then my makeup, my foundation, lays very nicely on top. It doesn't pill at all, and it adds to my skincare layer. So if I don't go in with heavy skincare, I get added benefits from the skincare infusion in this formulation. So really been loving this. I think the price point is a little steep, but Fenty is always on sale. So if you can get this on sale, get it then, or get it during like an Ulta or Sephora sale. But I think you should try this out. I haven't tried out the moisturizing version, but I feel like y'all should let me know how the moisturizing version works for you if you've tried it out yourself. All right, let's talk about foundation. So I have two on my list. Where did I put the other one? Because I just used it. Hold on. All right, I found it. So this first one I want to talk about is from IT Cosmetics. I know this was a sneaker hit for me. I didn't know what to expect when I picked this up in store. I just picked it up on a whim because I went into Ulta. I walked by the IT Cosmetics display. And you know how you walk by some things and something intrigues you and you just swatch it just for shits and giggles, nothing serious. I swatched this, and the way it swatched and felt paired with the actual shade match, oh girl, I had to get it. Oh my god. Did I tell you what this is already? I think I did, but if I didn't, it's the Do It All Sheer Tint Face Balm with 92% skincare serum. Again, skincare infusion, which I do appreciate. I know some people are like, I don't need skincare in my makeup. Let me tell you something about me, all right? If I can get skincare layered into complexion products or even SPF, I'm taking it, because it's just an added layer. Just like with your SPF, right? You apply sunscreen. You may not be applying the full amount that you need, but then you layer up a foundation that also has sunscreen in it, and then you put a powder on top that also has sunscreen, and then you use a spray. So by adding all those layers, you end up getting the skincare benefits of all of them, because now you're covering the spots that you may have missed, or you're covering the spots that didn't have the full application that you needed. You know what I mean? So every layer counts to me, and the same thing comes with skincare to me, okay? Because I'm not going in with like a full skincare routine when I'm applying makeup. I am not doing a serum and a potion and a lotion and all these things. I am maybe going in with a moisturizer at best, and it's going to be a gel cream. Then I'm going in with a primer, and then I'm going in with my foundation. So if my primer and my foundation has skincare in it, then more benefit for me, right? Because I am not doing all the actives before the makeup. So I appreciate skincare in complexion products. All that to say, right? So this one is a balm, and balms are making their rounds. A lot of brands have balms, and most of them are incorporating like a blurring technology in their balms, which I appreciate. And I actually just picked up some newer products with like that balm technology that I have been loving, and you will hear about them probably later on in the year. Like, I haven't tried them long enough. I haven't had enough time with them to really commit to them being a favorite, if that makes sense. They're in the running. I'm just thinking they're gonna be favorites, but this is a skincare balm. Like I said, the shade match is stellar. So this one is Tan Neutral 410. And typically, IT Cosmetics has a really poor shade range. Things tend to be too gray toned, too ashy, but this, for whatever reason, is one of the best skin tone matches I've ever had in my entire makeup life. And that is saying a lot. And for it to be IT Cosmetics, are you serious? But oh my God. So this feels very lightweight. It's thin. It's a tinted balm, so it's not gonna be heavy at all. And it looks so beautiful on the skin. It's a natural skin-like finish. I wouldn't say it's a natural matte. It's more skin-like. It looks very healthy. It pairs well with all my other complexion products. So it matches with my primer. It matches with my bronzer and my contour and my blush, and I don't do highlight. But it meshes with everything else, and then it powders beautifully as well. So I have been loving this. For everyday wear, when I go on work trips, it's my go-to because it's easy to pop on, right? I don't need my full production here on my desk like I do at home, right? It's on the go. I can just easily apply this without much fuss, and that's what I love about this. It's a glass jar with a wide cap, nothing fancy to the packaging, but it's really great. And I don't think it's overpriced at all. You don't get a ton of product because it's 0.63 ounce, but I think when it comes to like cream products and cream foundations, you tend to get less, but really love this. I don't think the price point's that bad anyway. And then the next one that I fell in love with is a more recent favorite, but I've had it long enough and used it enough to know that it's a favorite. That's the foundation from Rare Beauty. Girl, Rare Beauty didn't even put the name on it. Or is it under the... I'm not lifting that sticker. Anyway, this is the True to Myself Natural Matte Longwear Foundation. I think it's just True to Myself. Anyway, this is $38 and there are a lot of shades. Let me find out, Selena. Over here with 48 shades. Okay, so the shade I have is 32, which lands me at a good spot in the shade range because there are 48 shades. Okay, so shade 32 is medium deep neutral, which says neutral peach. And honestly, this doesn't read very peach on me. It just reads neutral. It's not too neutral golden though, so maybe that's what they're saying. This is a great skin tone match as well. This one now is a matte finish and it is a long wear full coverage foundation. It looks stunning though. It is not your typical full coverage foundation where it feels heavy, it's thick. No, this is thin, lightweight. I was very surprised by the formulation because it's like a more airy liquid. It's like it's not a runny liquid, right? So if I pump it out, it's not gonna run down my hand at all. It is more whipped and airy. So it has a almost thicker viscosity, which means it's a higher viscosity, so it's not runny, but it thins out and shears out. It doesn't stay thick, if that makes sense to you. It really blends and layers so beautifully, and again, it has that medium to full coverage, and it is stunning. It wears beautifully, and I think it says it self-sets, right? Self-priming and self-setting foundation. Absolutely agree, because I don't even need to go in with powder. Now, knowing me, I'm still going to go in with powder just by default because that's my typical routine, so I'm not going to switch that up too much. But I don't need powder. I only put powder in my T-zone where I'm like, no, I need to be bulletproof. I don't care if it's self-setting. I need it to be budge-proof, smudge-proof, everything proof. So I will set my T-zone, so my nose and my forehead and my chin, and right around my nose, like right in these smile lines. But this thing is long wearing for sure, like all day wear on my oily skin. It's excellent. It feels so good. And I like the packaging too because it has this click button in the back that locks the pump so you don't inadvertently dispense product from the cap in case you're traveling with it. So I think the packaging, the overall aesthetic, the shade range, everything about this foundation, stellar. Really love it. All right, I think we need to start going faster because I think I'm going too slow. All right, let's talk about the concealers because I have a few, and concealers are my jam. I love a good concealer. Oh my God. So the oldest one in my collection is from Milk Makeup. This is the Hydro Grip Gel Concealer. And I was not going to try this out, but they sent me an email and they're like, hey, you want to test this out? We'll send it to you. Pick your shades. And I was like, oh, say less. Yes, please. So I am happy they sent this my way. Like I said, sometimes you discover old favorites or you get to try out products and they do become favorites. And you would not have known had they not sent it to you. So this Hydro Grip line from Milk Makeup, oh my God, they have the setting spray, they have the primer, concealer, the gel moisturizer, all of those have the gripping technology. And honestly, I could have almost included their setting spray in this as well, but I haven't used it enough. I used it a couple of times, but I like defaulted to my other favorites, so it kind of got put on the back burner. But now that I mention it, I'm gonna use it some more to see like how I feel about it because I've gotten into setting sprays too. Oh my God. Anyway, this, beautiful. If you want an easy concealer, I think this is very beginner friendly. It's lightweight, easy to apply because it's a twist up. Oh, don't twist it. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Don't twist it up because it doesn't twist down if you're not going to use it, right? And don't twist too far. But this is so easy to use because it's twist up, apply under the eyes, blend it out. You can blend it out with your fingers, with a brush, with a sponge, whatever. It's so easy on the go because it just blends in so effortlessly. It gives you like a medium coverage. It's not like a full blank out coverage. So if you're using it with like a sheer coverage product or like a skin tint or a balm, like I've been using the It Cosmetics one, right? It's perfect because it's not going to show a separation or a distinction between your concealer and your complexion product because it melts so easily with those products. And that's something that can happen when you have like a full coverage concealer but a light tinted complexion product, or the other way around where you have a full coverage foundation but your concealer doesn't do a lot of heavy lifting. So I feel like this pairs very well with an easy face of makeup, right? Where you don't need a lot of coverage, you're not trying to blank out your face, you just want something that's going to even out your skin, cover up some hyperpigmentation, maybe some under eye circles. This is easy, blendable, perfect, wears really beautifully. I do still set it with powder though because it is a little bit more hydrating, it's a little bit more slippy, but I don't find that it settles too much into lines. I just still need to set it because I have lines under my eyes and I have oily skin, but love this concealer. All right, let's talk about this guy from Lancome. Oh my God, fell in love with this. This is their Tint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. The shade I have is Suede C, but what's the number? So this one is a multitasking buildable coverage concealer. The shade I have is 470, so it's Suede C. So that means it's cool, right? But I feel like it's more neutral than cool because I am not a cool undertone necessarily. Cool can look a little too gray on me or a little too pink. But this one just works perfectly. It's like a perfect skin tone match for hyperpigmentation. So I use this under my eyes as well as on like acne scars, which I've been breaking out a lot recently around the time of my period. I don't know, I get breakouts. Like I automatically know my period is coming because I get breakouts along with the back pain. But child, after pregnancy, your period gets worse. They didn't tell me this. Oh my God, I probably should have anticipated. But either way, this concealer, love it. The formulation, it sets down beautifully. If you need coverage in spots that are just, oh my God, they're hard to cover, put this on under complexion products, right? Put this on, let it sit for a few minutes and dry down, then blend out the edges. and the edges blend out easily, but it sets down and then it gives you the coverage. Like, this is the full coverage concealer that still looks effortless on the skin. So I can use this with a skin tint as well because it matches my skin so well. And I think that's something that we need to train our minds to do. Stop getting concealers that are a shade or two lighter than your complexion, because you're not just gonna use it under your eyes. Yes, that gives you a brightening lift, but sometimes you need something to cover up hyperpigmentation, breakouts, you know, whatever spots on your face. And you need that to match your actual complexion and not be brightening and lifting, right? Who wants to brighten a pimple, right? So get away from that and get skin tone matches for your concealer. And this is a great match. Works so well. I love it. It may be a little bit cool neutral, but I feel like it still melts into my skin enough. Like, it still goes, even though I have more of a golden undertone. Love it. And it wears really well. Oh yes. And then the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. I can probably say the same thing about this. This shade is 5N. This one is a little bit warmer, I would say, almost. This is not as good of a shade match, which is why I would choose the Lancome over this one. But I love this one as well because the formulation kind of does the same thing, right? It sets down well. Great coverage, blends out really nicely, beautiful feel on the skin. I feel like it's neck and neck except for the shade match. And I can still get away with this one. Let me show you the difference between the two. So this one is the Estee, which reads a little peachier. I don't know if you can tell. I'll show you up close in a second. And then the Lancome, which has more golden neutral, right? And you'll see once I come up now, you're gonna see the difference in the shade. And then this one is the shade 9 from Milk. So do you see how the Estee Lauder is a little peachier? So that's what I mean. If there's a cool undertone, things can lean a little too peachy or a little bit too pink. But this is the Milk makeup. Let me show you how that blends out. You see? Like nothing on my skin, right? And then the Lancome also looks like nothing, but it's a little richer. It's a little truer to my complexion. So the Milk makeup, great for under the eyes and just like light coverage. And then the Estee is a little peachier. You see what I'm saying? So the shade match is the only drawback for the Estee. But I love the formulation equally to the Lancome. And I will use it in tandem. I pretty much use that under the eyes though, because a little peach in your concealer can help correct some under eye darkness. So it works under the eyes, or if I'm going around my mouth, it can help correct or cancel out the darkness. You understand? So that's why it's still a favorite. It's just I have specific uses for it because of the shade. Does that make sense? Perfect. All right, let's move on to, the powder. Okay, so you know I already love my Kosas. I love my One Size loose powder. Those are my setting powders of choice, but a new setting powder came into my life. This is from Laneige, and I'm telling you right now, I didn't expect to love this. So this is their Neo Essential Blur-In Finish Powder. And it's a finishing powder, not necessarily a setting powder, which I like that it says that. Open it up, there's a mirror if you need it, and there's a little powder puff that it comes with, but I took that out. And in here you have the loose powder. Now what I love about this packaging is that this is like a silicone plastic mesh with slits in it, and when you press it, the powder comes up. I'm not gonna press it now because I have powder there. And then with the excess powder, you can just close it. And it keeps the powder sealed. So it is almost mess-free. It's not 100% mess-free, and I don't think you can really get 100% mess-free when it comes to loose powder packaging, but they have done it the best so far. This powder is a thin, translucent powder that's not drying, but I will warn you, you definitely need to buff this out and maybe add a finishing spray at the end, because if you use too much, it can show. Now, it doesn't look like an HD powder. You remember Makeup Forever HD powder with the flashback? It doesn't look quite like that, but you can see some of the powder particles left behind if you use too much. So what I would do is grab a brush, right? Like this one from, I think it's Kyoto. I don't remember. It's a fox hair brush. And grab the powder, right? It's very thin, very finely milled, and just buff over my skin like a finishing powder rather than a setting powder. It mattifies, it blurs, and it looks really beautiful on the skin. Very thin again, but it can do a white cast, okay? So you set your face, right, buff it, and then go in with your finishing spray, which I'm gonna talk about this right after. So let me just go ahead and I will just spritz my face, and that's it. But it sets the makeup down, it blurs, and it does help to control shine. So really love that powder. I am happy I tried it out because typically I don't go for Laneige products. I hate their lip balm thing. They don't have a good formula as far as I'm concerned. Y'all can love it, that's on you, but I don't love it personally. So I don't really go for their products, but I saw this powder, I was intrigued, and I'm glad I picked it up because it is so good. You just have to be mindful that it doesn't get powdery and get away from you. But blurring, again, oil absorbing, stunning on the skin. And then we'll jump into the setting spray that I've fallen in love with. Now, my One Size and my L'Oreal Infallible, those are my go-to like long wear setting sprays. And I have a ton of setting sprays. Like I said, I have to rotate through to see the ones that I really love. Now, what I found myself doing if I'm going out is layering my setting sprays. Hear me out. So you have setting sprays that are meant to blur your makeup, melt it into the skin like a MAC Fix Plus. And I know One Size has like a makeup melting spray where it just melts all the powders, makes everything kind of sit together. You have prepping sprays that have skincare in them, so they help to hydrate the skin. And you also have like long wearing sprays that are meant to really set your foundation in place and make them waterproof, smudge, whatever, right? And I have a combination of them. Some of them, you know, and the Tatcha one, I've had it before, years ago, and I just found it too dewy. Is this the dewy one? Luminous? Yeah, the Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. When I used it before, it was just too hydrating, too moist, like too dewy. And when I got this in the PR box, I was like, ooh, that's gonna be a problem, right? But I just said, try it, try it. What's the worst that could happen, right? Girl, when I tell you that I've been using this non-stop, first of all, thin, okay? Beautiful packaging, glass, bottle, gold, the little lavender hue, like ombre, girl, stop, okay? And then it's milky. I love a milk. Stop it. And then the sprayer, fine mist. Shut up, fine mist. Oh my god. And then it tastes good if it gets in your mouth. That's just an aside. But when I tell you I fell in love with this stupid spray, and I'm mad because once I use it up, now I'm gonna have to repurchase it, and it's pricey. But girl, it just settles everything on your face, okay? The powders melt, everything blends, everything sits beautifully. And I don't find that it makes me oily like it used to. And I don't know, maybe they changed the formulation, maybe they improved, because you know, over the years, ingredients change, technology improves, and you get better and better products. This is one of them that benefited from a formula change, girl, because I love it so, so much. So what I'll do is use this as my finishing spray, right? To melt everything, to get my makeup situated how it's supposed to be situated, right? And then I'll go in with my One Size or my L'Oreal as my final mattifying fixing spray. Like that's gonna set everything in place. That's the long wear part, but the Tatcha is my spritz to settle everything. Does that make sense? Because it settles everything without making my face too moist. All right, love that. All right, let's talk about blush and bronzer. Let's do the blushes first. YSL. I talked so much mess about YSL. I was like, oh, they're too pricey. I don't want this stupid blush. Like, I was so lippy about the blushes. And let me tell you something right now, okay? Blushes are making their rounds. I am not a blush whore, but I am low-key because I have so many blushes. Blushes and bronzers. are my weakness. Lip product, everything's my weakness if I'm honest. Let's be quite frank. But these YSL blushes, I am so happy I picked them up during the Sephora sale because shut your mouth. So they had like really like ashy shades initially, and I was like, no, I'm so good, because those initial shades that they launched with, they had a full line, but the initial shades were just like, and not all of them were at Sephora and the blah, 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 and they've expanded the range since. So they added 23, which is like, what is this? I would say it's like a muted terracotta. It's probably like a peach they describe it as. I'm just saying how it looks on my skin. It looks like a very beautiful, warmer nude on me. And then I don't know what number this is because the label isn't on the back. I don't know where it went, but like any shade that you find that works for you, go for it. It's a nice blur and soft blush. These are the matte finish ones. I have one of the shimmer finishes, and I don't know that I love the shimmer finish just because I don't like shimmer. But if you want to glow, maybe it's more up your alley. But the matte finishes, I do want to get the red one, but I feel like red is not necessarily my shade. There's a bright pink one too that once there's a sale and I feel moved to do so, I will get it. But I feel like I have enough blushes, which is why I haven't bit the bullet and gotten more. But these two, love it. 23 is my favorite, and I think this one may be 35 if I'm not mistaken. But this one is a more corally, yeah, like a deeper corally new. Well, I can't open. Listen, why I sell, but I mean, man, I wait now, girl. Oh, I'm a dexterity not going too well. But you see, it's almost the same shade, only this one is slightly richer, slightly more peach. Love the two of these. All right, let's talk about the bronzers, which both of these are newer to my collection. All right, but the formulations, stop. First up, MPH by Mary Felix expanded their shade range of their Underpainting face palette. They released 10 deep, rich, and light, pale, something like that. They added to the extreme, so extremely light, deeper, richer, and then a middle shade, which is my tan. Now, I have the deep palette, and I tried the medium. The deep was just a better option because the medium was just a little bit too light with the complexion products. But this is my perfect shade selection now. And I knew that there was going to be an expansion, and people ask, like, why doesn't a brand launch with the full range initially? Sometimes the budget isn't there. This is a new brand, and I don't know if it's self-funded or however, but she didn't launch with like a big collection. And honestly, there's no excuse, but it's like, this is what happens sometimes with smaller brands. They launch with a limited range and then expand. One, if the brand does well, they get their return on investment, and so they can expand now because people like the formula. And this formula, it's creamy, right? But not slippy and oily and greasy. It blends really well. It's great for underpainting. If you apply it, then blend it out with foundation, which I did in my last review video. Check it out. I have 3 videos on this now, but I've used this so much when doing my makeup because it's so easy to blend. If I want effortless, this is what I'll go for. The corrector shade, this is the best corrector shade I've ever used for blanking out under eye pigmentation or hyperpigmentation around my mouth. Right now, I didn't use a corrector, and you can still kind of see a dark shading under my eyes, but this corrector blanks it out without being too orange where, oh my God, I have to cover up orange now. No, it blanks it out, looks like my skin, so I could almost just use it on its own without a concealer on top. Spectacular. The 2 concealer shades or highlighter shades, I feel like they're more concealer shades. They're not really brightening, but this lighter shade actually does lift my face. And then the bronze and contour shades for shaping. Love this. The formulation, again, is stellar. Very blendable, very beautiful on the skin. Skin-like finish. If you wanted to keep it dewy, you could, but it interacts well with powder too, and it blends effortlessly. Now, it's buildable. So you do have to layer if you want the pow, but if you want subtle, it's so beginner friendly because it's almost like you can't mess it up because it blends so well. And I love the formulation, and this new tan palette, perfect shade selection for me. I just stumbled over my words, but love that. All right, you know what? Let's jump into eyes, which I don't have. Well, no, I have another bronzer. What am I doing? Oh my God. So this one, right? Westman Atelier. Pricey. Didn't want to love it. Listen, okay? But this is the Sun Tone Bronzing Creme. And I hate having to say creme because I really want to say cream, but this is Soleil Parfait 3. There's a 4. Now, I have some qualms about the packaging, which is opening it. It takes a little maneuvering to open it, and I'm trying to figure out, like, why, you know, just like the YSL blush just now, but the YSL actually opens. This, if you have dexterity issues, girl, stay away. But this has a dual, right? So we have a bronzing shade, which is warmer, and then a more cool tone shade for shaping. What I love about this is that it's a balm cream rather than like a full-on emollient cream. It's almost moussey. It's not one of those textures where you will sink your finger into it. It's still a cream, right? But it's airy, so it's very lightweight on the skin. Again, very user-friendly, and I think the shades in this, stunning. Oh my God, I didn't know that Westman Atelier was gonna blow me away. I picked this up during the Sephora sale because, again, the price, like, I'm not trying to spend all that, right? But I am so happy I did, because you see the shades with my complexion. Excellent. I have a contour shade, I have a bronzing shade, and I tend to do a bronzer, so I mix the two and, you know, work it at different spots on my face. And I love this. It's so effortless, so easy, so lightweight, so blendable and buildable, but gives you a really subtle look to the skin. Not too warm, not too cool, not too gray. I love this so much. The price point is the only drawback, but bronzers, again, are my weakness, and there are a few that I think may, you know, be in the running for some additional faves. But that one stood out to me from the recent, like, Sephora haul that I did. All right, let's talk eyes, shall we? So let's talk palettes, which I don't have a ton of eyeshadows to talk about. I don't typically have a ton because I'm not really wearing the eyeshadow. You know, you'll see me in eyeshadow for a video, but not really. So first up, Danessa Myricks Beauty. Oh my God. So here's the thing. This is from the Lightwork Volume 7 Freedom palette, right? But I customized the 6-pan palette that comes with that palette, so you can move out 6 shades of the full palette into your own little, you know, doodad. But these shades are in the Mini Everyday Magic Neutral Freedom palette. And I specifically put those shades in this palette because I wanted to see, like, let's do a get ready with me. And girl, I kept it out ever since because these shades, oh my God. So she has the 4 mattes in here. The black is the only one, like, I could do without the black. But the shimmers in this, shut your freaking mouth. These are the prettiest shimmers on my eyes, and they can be subtle as well as extreme because you can build them up or you can sheer them out. And oh my God, this palette is so good, and the mattes apply so well, blend out so effortlessly. I can't wait for the Lightwork 8, and I can't wait for her to expand this whole concept. Now, the $48, 6 shades, $48. I feel like $70 is like the new eyeshadow palette price point, so maybe 48 is not pushing it. But I tell you right now, the $48 is worth it because these 2 special shades and the mattes, the formulation, the blendability, oh my God, so stunning. I love this palette, stunning. Get it if you didn't get the Lightwork 7. Get it in the mini, trust me. She says it's limited edition, but it hasn't sold out yet. And even her other limited edition, the pastel one, came back. So maybe you can still get your hands on it, but if you have the 7, just put these shades in your palette and go. Stunning. And then I will mention some other pricey palettes, all right? Victoria Beckham Beauty. Listen here, Victoria. First of all, she sells the refill and then the palette separately. So this palette itself is so pricey, but I got it on sale, and listen, I have to maneuver these sales to get the best bang for my buck because these prices in this economy, girl. But this Cocoa palette, shut your mouth. It's warm golden goodness without being too yellow gold. It's so stunning. This warm caramel brown, which is a matte, this dark brown, this bronzy shade, and then this oh, I might be too loud. If I want a golden look, stop. This is so stunning. This can be an all over shade or an inner tear duct highlight. It's subtle and satin and beautiful. This blend-in shade in the crease, this to deepen up, this on the lid. Stop. Or you can pair it however you want with other palettes. Love this. This dark brown too. I pulled this palette out just for the dark brown to deepen up creases because I love it that much. If you have any doubt about the Victoria Beckham palettes, let me calm your mind. The formulation is that good. The colors are that great. They're smokier, yes, so they have to be like a color story that you're into, but love them. And then the other one that I fell in love with is the Orchid. Now what I don't like is, like I said, you have to buy the insert separate from the actual packaging, and then you don't get a label on the back now because the label is going to be on the insert, which is now at the back of this. So I just printed out my own personal labels and put them on the back of each of my palettes. So like this one is Cocoa, this one's Orchid, right? But Orchid, this one came out for Valentine's Day around that time because it has the pink in there and like the rosy bronze. I think, yeah, the rosy bronze I'm wearing now. And then the deep eggplant brown. Because it's not really purple, it's not really brown. It's like a blend of the two. Oh my god, that's what I use on the outer V. So if I'm doing a purple look or a rosy look or a pinky look, this is the perfect color to blend. The only shade I don't really get a lot of use out of is the pink, because when I'm like, pink, but it's still pretty, still stunning. This, oh my god, I love this so much. So those are my 3 palettes. Done, okay? I'm not like into palettes crazy this time around. And then last for the eyes are these from LYS Beauty. These lash clusters, I don't care what style you get, anyone that suits your fancy, get anyone. They're perfect. These are the uplifted pre-glued beginner-friendly lash clusters. There are 30 clusters in there. They're reusable, and I think they're like $15 or $18, so it's not too pricey. And like I said, you reuse them. I bought some of them on their website because some of the styles are only on their websites, and I bought some of them during the Sephora sale. But let me tell you right now, they are the easiest lashes to put on. I have them on right now. You pop them on under your lashes so you don't have to worry about a lash band. You don't have to worry about fussing with a lash glue. You pop them on. Now, the glue does wear down. After about the 3rd wear, they kind of start getting loose, but you can just put lash glue on them, apply them the same way, and it's still no muss, no fuss. Just get your little lash applicator, pop them on. It's that simple, it's that easy, they're comfortable, they're lightweight, they look very seamless, okay? I'm not gonna say they look natural because I am going to assume you know I am wearing lashes, but you can't tell because they're under the lash line. They don't poke me in the eye, there's nothing that feels uncomfortable. I can wear these all day without issue. Oh my god, I love them so much. Love them. I have multiples because I love them that much. And you can style them however you want because they have 3 different lengths. They have the short length that you can use on the inner part and then longer. Or if you just want to be more subtle, use the short ones and the medium ones and mix and blend them. Oh my god, so good. Love those. All right, we're running into the lips and we're going to hurry up because we've been here too long. All right. I said this in my review of these lippy guys from Hong Bongo. These are the lip hues. Recent launch, picked almost every shade up during the Sephora sale because I fell in love with the formulation. It's so comfortable. So these are a gloss balm liquid lipstick combination, okay? Has a pigmentation, well, not like heavy full coverage pigmentation, but decent pigmentation of a liquid lipstick. Right? Not heavy full on. Remember that, right? Has the shininess of a gloss, so you're gonna get that glossy look to the lips. And then it has the comfort of a lip balm. So a melted lip balm. All of those combined, love it. The formulation is stunning. The shade selection, stunning. My favorite shades are Nothing to Lose and Wildest Dream, which are like nudie shades. There's a collection of nudes, reds, and then pinks. I, like I said, have almost all the colors. I did a swatch video, so if you want to see the different nuances to the shades, check that video out. but I love these so much. Very comfortable. The packaging, I wish was a little different so I could know the colors a little bit better, but I store them upright in like a little container, but it's still hard to see the actual color swatch because it's lower down, but I don't care. I don't care. I will deal with that because I love it so much. So love this formulation. And then another lip gloss that I fell in love with are from SOOO. These are, let's see, what are they called? They're 3D volumizing gloss, but they have a 30%, which has a almost translucent cap. You can see a little see-through part to the cap. And then they have a 70%, which is more opaque. And these little guys, these little beans are so good. Love the formulation, love the shades. Oh my God. So the shades I love the most are Scotch and Dirty Cola, which is a brown. This one is more of like a peachy nude. Love these, comfortable. These are glosses though, so they're not gonna give you heavy pigmentation. The 70% is slightly richer and deeper, but comfortable, shiny, look good on the lips, feel good on the lips, smell good. Love these. And the price point is not too bad at all. And they have a great little selection of shades as well. I love them and they're really cute. And then I have this lip gloss that I picked up from MAC. Here's the thing about this one. It's a little bit questionable, the shade, but I love it so much. Okay, so this is the lip gloss cushion and the shade is Jesus have mercy of Nazareth. Oh my God, read this, girl. Malt is the shade. Yeah, malt. This is very concealer lips on me. It looks like my lip color, but I love it so much. I just wear a lip liner with it if I don't want it to look too concealery. The pigmentation is there. The comfort, oh my God, it's not sticky and thick like old school lip gloss from MAC. This formula is cushy, comfortable, lightweight, feels good, doesn't leave a white rim, no, and the color, I just love it. It's literally my lips, okay? It's my lip shades, but I need a lip liner because it is my lip shade. Stunning, I love this. Thank you, MAC, for coming out with these. I got another shade of this, and I don't want to recommend all the shades because they're a little questionable, but this shade is my favorite. There's an orange one. It's weird. MAC does weird fun colors, so if you want something interesting, definitely go check these out. Love it. And then I have this Maracuja lip oil from Tarte. This one is the Maracuja Juicy Lip. They have the lip vinyls and some other stuff, the plumping one, but this one is the Juicy Lip specifically. The shade is Vanilla Cupcake. It was a collaboration with Dunkin' Donuts, I believe. I also got the little charm because there was a gift with purchase through Ulta and they gave me a little charm with it, which is, I think it's a little coffee cup or maybe lips, whatever it is, it's cute. But this shade, this is what I'm wearing now with the SOOO lip gloss on top. But this is such a beautiful glossy lip tint. It has more of a cool tone mauve-y vibe to it. But it's so good. It looks so good on my lips. And I like the applicator for this type of formula because it's that melty lip product, right? That can get away from you if it's too thick. But I think this is slender enough that it makes application really easy and effortless. And it looks so good. I love a juicy lip, especially for the summer. Stop it. I love it so much. And then here are my pricey ones. All right, y'all ready? Westman Atelier. I know. Westman snuck in on me. So I have the Westman Atelier lip shape lip liner. These are newer, but the shade is mink. I love this. This is like the perfect liner for my lip color. It matches my natural lip line color. So you see the natural outline of my lips is like a neutral cool tone brown, like a deeper brown. And this is like the perfect shade for that. So if I want to kind of even out a little bit and balance, I use this shade. And this is a sharpenable wood lip liner, so you do have to sharpen it, not twist up. Here's the thing about this formula. It is smooth, velvety, but locks down, but it's so comfortable to apply. It isn't like draggy or tuggy. It just goes on so well. I love it so much. Oh my God. And I don't say break the bank for these, but I am glad I got mink. And I picked up another shade too that I absolutely love as well. But this is such a good lip pencil. The formula is just slightly different from all the other formulations that I've tried, and I'm really in love with it. And then I also have one of their lipsticks. This is their Lip Suede matte lipsticks in the shade Rue. Oh my god, this is the perfect 90s nude. I've been looking for a perfect velvety matte nude brown lipstick that just works for my complexion. This guy is more, I would say almost like cool tone brown, like a mauve-y vibe, and it's richer and deeper, but it's so stunning. It's not a caramelly brown at all. It's not warm, and it's expensive, but it's such a good lip color. If I'm going for that monotone kind of cool 90s look, then that's the lip I would use. It's very comfortable as well on the lips, very smooth, almost silky, but it's matte. So it's giving you that velvety look, you know, latte makeup, which girl, you didn't invent that. Like, why was everything assigned to Hailey Bieber, but y'all can't even get painted by Esther Her Flowers? I see y'all, I see what's going on. But anyway, that 90s look, that latte makeup, that brown coffee makeup where everything's neutral. Yes, yes, Westman. And then I'll wrap up finally with two brushes that I've fallen in love with. So this first one is the Shadow 05 from Refer. This one, oh my god, it's a special blush brush. It has a special design. This is not typical. It has almost like a duo fiber design where it has staggered bristles. So you have longer bristles that are more airy and sparse at the tip. And then it has a little paw shape. It's very soft. It gets denser as you move towards the center. And that means it's the perfect blush brush for blurring out, especially if you have a pigmented blush. You just want a little bit more control. Oh my god, it's so soft. And it makes blush application so easy and effortless because, again, it has the blurring kind of built into the design of the brush. So if you have something, again, that's highly pigmented, use this brush. Oh my god, get it. I don't care. Get this brush. I have multiples. I ordered multiples because I love it that much. Oh my god, the first one was sent to me and I went and ordered a couple more. So Refer, thank you so much for this design. Stunning. And then one that I bought on a whim is from Make Beauty. This is the blender brush. It's like a small synthetic brush. It's stiff, it's domed, but the size of it makes it perfect for blending out cream products under your eyes, around the nose, contour, because it gives that precision, right? Because of the size. Normally, my blush brushes may be larger for cream blushes, right? Or I may have a small brush for concealer, but then this is like an in-between size that works for that precise application. Say you have a product that's not highly pigmented, like the Salt New York blushes from Hannah Louise Poston, and you wanted to really pick up the product. This is what I use for that swatch video. Someone asked me, she's like, what did you use? Because I'm having trouble picking up the product. This brush, this Make Beauty brush, dense, so it picks up product. So if you have a lightly pigmented product and you want more from it, use this. So the Shadow is for powder products if you want to lessen the pigmentation, and then this is for cream products if you want to improve the pigmentation. But you can still get like a lighter pigmentation with this brush, so don't be afraid to use it for your cream bronzer, your cream blushes, your contour products. It works again on the nose, and I really like it for the Westman Atelier product because it just allows me to quickly sweep on a nose contour. You see how quick that was? And boom, it's already blended. So loving this brush from Make Beauty, and I just saw it on sale. Make Beauty sent me an email and I was like, you know what, let me try out their brushes. I am a brush lover through and through, so I will try just about any brush on the market. If there's a brush, I'm gonna try it, okay? If it looks interesting and it looks like it's worth my $1, I'm gonna pick it up. So I am glad I tried those Make Beauty brushes. I have a couple more, but they aren't like true favorites. I think the one that stands out is that blending brush. And that is it. I think, yeah, that is it. I am going to wrap up this video. It is already long, but I definitely wanted to share those products with you guys. Some of them are definitely new to my collection, recent finds. Some of them are older favorites and they have just existed for a longer time and I'm just discovering them. or rediscovering them, and I'm really in love and I am so happy. Oh my god, I'm so excited when I find really great makeup. So there you go, guys. Let me know what your favorites have been so far this year. Do we have similar favorites? Are you interested in trying any of these products out? And if you are shopping for these products, please consider using my links that I will leave down below. Those are affiliate links as well as the YouTube shopping links. Those give me a kickback if you use those links. Doesn't change the sale price, right? It just gives me a kickback, a commission for you using my links. It's a great way to show your support for the channel because, again, it doesn't change anything for you. It just gives me a little bit back so I can put right back into the content. So if you shop using my links, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I also have YouTube memberships, but that's just like a tip jar. And I also have like super thanks and all that stuff. And you can also hype the video if you want to help out the channel. I want to thank you guys so much for your support and sticking by me and hanging out, because you guys make this a really fun space for me to keep creating, and I am happy to be a part of your beauty community. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.